This feels weird, doesn't it? Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Folks, it's time to continue our reviews through the Last of the Jedi series, but I got to give you a detour first. Go to Star Wars Insider issue number 88, written by Jude Watson, called Ghost of the Sith. Now in this one, Ferris Olin encounters Genna Zan Abor on Korriban. This takes place shortly after the first two novels. It is without Obi-Wan, which is how we know this. And Genna Zan Abor, you probably have heard of before because she was in Jude Watson's earlier series, both Jedi Quest and Jedi Apprentice. So what did I think about this short story? I actually really like this one. This is actually pretty good. Again, like any Star Wars Insider short, you do not need to read this one in order to get something from book 3. It doesn't connect to any of the other ones. Well, I mean, it does connect kind of story-wise, of course, but you're not going to miss anything if you don't get to read this or if you skip it. It is a good one, though. One of the better ones from Star Wars Insider. Now, from there, it's time to go to The Last of the Jedi, book 3. Book 3 is called Underworld. In this one, Ferris falls into a trap for the Jedi set by Darth Vader himself. Egad, will he be able to escape? Of course he would. There's like 10 other books in this series. Okay, so this book stars the first time we are given a tale from Jude Watson in a young adult series without Obi-Wan. Oh no, what are we going to do? Well, she's hoping Ferris Olin can hold his own now, right, as a character goes and keep your interest. To me, this one wasn't as good. Hear me out here. Vader sets a trap for Jedi. Of course, Ferris falls into it, and then Ferris escapes. He outwits or outsmarts or outplays Vader and somehow makes it out. Now, I'm not saying that any Jedi can't escape Vader. Yeah, they can. But in comic books like Purge and other novels, we've seen Darth Vader chopping down Jedi left and right. We heard that he killed most of them, right? Now, it's conceivable, as in some of these comic book stories, where Darth Vader kills a bunch of Jedi, but one of them escapes. Or two. That makes sense, right? One always sacrifices himself and tells the others to run. That is conceivable. But when you have a character who hasn't been a Jedi for years, and in fact, when he was just a Padawan. He was never really a Jedi ever before. He was just a Padawan. So he hasn't practiced for years. He comes back, and all of a sudden, he can escape Vader. As Macaulay Culkin once said in Home Alone, I don't think so. That seemed a little too far-fetched for me. I didn't really buy that. So for me, Underworld had that issue. Now, what about the fourth book in the Last of the Jedi series, written by Jude Watson? This one is called Death on Naboo, and in this novel, an Inquisitor goes to Naboo to investigate the mysterious death of Queen Amidala. How did Padme pass away? If you think about it, it's a question that no one really asked at the end of episode 3, right? I doubt they said Anakin killed her or Darth Vader killed her. That would be bad, right, for the galaxy. So, and I'm sure, Anakin thought that he had killed her there on Mustafar. So how did she die? Were there any questions asked? And why wasn't a proper inspection of the body done? It actually opens up a very interesting storyline here, where an Inquisitor is going to find the truth. Will he find out about the kids? And that is what Trevor and Ferris Olin are going to stop him on. Trevor Flume, the kid thief. So they have to travel to Naboo to stop this Inquisitor from finding out the truth. Now, again, another great idea for a story. However, I do find fault with this one as well, because why doesn't Ferris ask Obi-Wan for help? This has to deal with the safety of the kids. Now, Jude Watson gives you a reasonable explanation of why Ferris doesn't contact Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan said, don't contact me again. I have to be on Tatooine. It's very important. Can't tell you why, but it's very important. And don't contact me again, blah, blah, blah. Ferris is like, okay, I can't contact him again. I got to do this on my own. And, okay, that's conceivable, I guess, but just unbelievable. I mean, already you had Obi-Wan come out and go on a mission specifically to do this thing, to make sure no one knows about the kids. Well, now that an Inquisitor of Darth Vader's is going around asking questions on Naboo, you think that would be reason enough for Obi-Wan to hop back on the adventure train and go out and, stop this Inquisitor. However, the real reason being Lucasfilm wasn't going to let Jude Watson use Obi-Wan again in a story, so she had to get creative on how she did this. And, I know her hands were tied, but still, this story, even though conceivable, doesn't make sense for why Obi-Wan wouldn't go. Like I said, you may disagree reading the book. You may say, no, actually, Matt, the reason he gave was good enough for me. If it was, that's fine. To me, I still felt, these next 2 books without Obi-Wan are stumbling out of the gate. Now, does her series, Last of the Jedi, continue to make mistakes and continue to stumble and spiral into, mediocrity? Or is there a powerful upswing at the end and her characters are redeemed and the storyline is great? Well, you'll have to wait for another time for another video because that's all the time I have for now. See you later.